Kasey, congratulations. Getting to play soccer at UNC, I think, is any girl's dream. It's the number one preeminent program in the country. I thought the story of how this came about was fascinating. I'm going to let you pick it up, but you were telling me that when you went to their camp this summer, they had no idea that you were the South Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year. They knew nothing about you, right?
Yes, sir. I had gone. I was actually supposed to go there the freshman summer going into my sophomore year. But I had gotten hurt and I couldn't really play. I couldn't really go to the camp, so I didn't. So they rolled it over into my sophomore summer going into my junior year. Got hurt again, couldn't do it. So this past summer, my junior summer going into my senior year, I was finally able to go. And I went out and I played just like I normally play, I guess. And I guess they liked what they saw, so
Now,
that's how it started.
so you go up there to camp, and you're just any girl that wanted to come to camp. Now, we all know what you can do, and don't be modest here. So you get out there playing your game. How long did it take them to go, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here?
It was actually the first day that we got there that we got off the buses and we got there, we had to register, move into the dorms that we were staying in, and then we had to play a game, and we played the game, and my coach asked me like where I was from and all this other stuff, and that's when he started talking. And then we had like the All-Star games that night. We watched them, and then within the next day that I stayed, my coach had gone up to Anson Dorrance, the coach at UNC Chapel Hill, and said, "You need to look at this girl." And so I got picked to play in the All-Star games that night, and then the next. I think it was the next day, we had to take pictures, like team pictures, I guess. And my coach told me to go speak to Anson, so I did, and I went and talked to him. He was like, point. He's like, come and talk to me before we play in the All-Star games tomorrow night. And so I did that, and he saw me, and he was just like, wow. So
you took a visit. You took your official visit last weekend, and they offered, and that was that.
Pretty much.
How obviously, for anyone that doesn't realize this, literally UNC women's soccer is the Duke, or in the old days UCLA, of basketball. It's the Alabama of college football,
Yes.
that kind of thing. Knowing that, is this almost surreal that you're going up there on scholarship to play soccer?
It really is. It's crazy to think that, because like when I was like smaller or a little bit younger, I guess, I always like, oh, Chapel Hill, UNC Chapel Hill, this, because they've produced so many Olympic players, so many women's national team players, like World Cup players. They had about 6 of them in the women's World Cup team that were Tar Heel alumni, which is just like, it's crazy.
It's amazing.
So, to know that I'm going there, like, oh, it's great. And I like to be able to be under Coach Anson is just like, it's gonna be like tough, but I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I got to ask you, speaking of World Cup, Women's World Cup, speaking of the national team and all that, is that a goal that you have personally to eventually, compete for a spot on one of those, or is that not something you really think about?
Well, it definitely is something I think about. It would be a dream come true for that to happen, but like, that's not my main purpose, for going to Chapel Hill. Like, I want to get an education, of course. I want to, be able to start a career and do something with my life. But like, that definitely is something that I would be a dream come true if that were to happen.
Well,